know, bit of a late record this week because I thought I had a handle on the linear nature of time and I simply didn't. Now, I've got a little bit to talk about this week, but first, before anything else, I need a drum roll. Give me 1 second. The two cans are done. I sat down last week and finished the back stitch. It didn't even take that long, and I will learn nothing from this. The part that I was avoiding was this quarter down here on the bottom half of this bird, just because doing back stitch on the black and the dark blue was really difficult to see, and it wasn't an enjoyable back stitching process. So this is not chart accurate. This is close enough is good enough. The rest of it's reasonably chart accurate, but around the birds it's just as close as I could get it. But I'm pleased that that's done, and I'm pleased that I don't have to think about it every week now. I will get a frame or something for that. Now, the reason I sat down to finish this at long last is because Heritage Stitchcraft, who produced this kit, have very suddenly shut their doors. There was no warning. The website has been scrubbed. I'll hold that up so you've got something to look at while I talk at you. The website has been scrubbed of all products. I don't think there's been an official announcement, but I'm in a Facebook group for Heritage cross-stitch designs, and there's some employees, former employees in there, who have confirmed that yes, Heritage has had to close their doors, presumably financial, but I don't know. And I wouldn't like to speculate, although I did just a little bit then. So anyway, yes, two cans are done. I will get a frame for them and put them maybe there so that you can see them and remember that time I finished the two cans. Now I've got quite a lot of other stuff, so I'll put the two cans away. Just give me 1 second. Okay, this one has had its wet finish, holding that up beautifully. I don't know why I do that with my thumbs all the time. I'll have to have a word with myself. I'm going to hide my thumbs. This one has had its wet finish. I said last week that there'd been tension problems, and I did try and fix those tension problems a couple of times during the weave. I said last week that I'd tried once. I actually ended up trying again. I think what we need to admit though, and I say we, and I mean me, I didn't warp it up very carefully, and that's where the tension problems came from. So, what does that mean for the finished piece? It means that it's sitting very strangely. It's sort of curling in on itself. This middle bit is baggy and the edges are quite tight. I don't think it's the end of the world. It would be nicer if it was sitting flat, but it isn't because I didn't warp it up very well. But I still think it's wearable, and I do love the colours, and I love how the colours look together, and I'm going to try and show you the length. That's the interesting end, and you can see there, you probably can't because it's on my side, but I'll turn it round. Is it doing it? Yeah, you can see there that it's curling up, and that's just because of the tension being kind of all over the place. The edges were very tight and the middle was very loose, and that's what's happened. On this end, not a problem with the tension. Oops, not a problem with the tension. So that's sitting quite nice and flat. It's just on this end where maybe I wasn't as careful as I should have been. I think it's fine. I think it's wearable. I would like to point out that it takes twice as long to do a double fringe. This took me 3, maybe 4 days. I'm exaggerating. It did take me most of a day though because I was doing other stuff. I'm looking at it but not showing you. There we go. So it's fine. I'm not as excited about it as I would be if I had got the tension right, but that is entirely my fault. And the next time I do a clasped warp, I'm not very good at that word, I will be more careful with my tension. So what else have I got? Hang on. This one's come off the loom. This came off the loom last night. And now that it's off the tension, the colours are a little bit more visible than they were when it was on the loom, because when yarn's under tension, it's a little bit thinner because it's stretched. And I'm hoping with a bloom that these colours will really pop out. And I'll tell you what this yarn is. Oh, I didn't tell you what the blue yarns were. I'll tell you in the description. If I haven't, remind me. So this warp yarn, which is the colours, is Bendigo Woollen Mills Prism 8 ply, I think, in the colourway Rainforest. And the weft, which is the orange, is Bendigo Woollen Mills Classic 8 ply in burnt orange. And this is the one with the skipped dents and well, it's not actually a skipped dent. This is the one with the deliberate whatever this situation might be called. I've done that on purpose this time. I did it accidentally on a previous weave, and now I've done it on purpose. So hopefully, when this is wet finished, but I have to do the fringe first, this will all sort of open up a little bit and the colours will show a bit better. But even if it doesn't, it's a nice orange. It's a little bit open weave now, actually, that I'm looking at it. So that's how it's looking. Hopefully there will be some bloom, and hopefully those colours will be a little bit more prominent. And hopefully it'll soften up. It's a little bit stiff. Right, what else have I got going on? I do have something on the big loom that I'm kind of ambivalent about, but I'll show you what that looks like. I don't know that I like this yarn, and that's a bold statement because it is Bendigo Woollen Mills, and I generally love everything they do. This is Bendigo Woollen Mills Iridescence in the colourway Coral Reef. It is a cotton and acrylic blend around a strand of nylon. Now that strand of nylon means it's strong enough to use as warp, so I'm happy it's there. But it slips around on that core really easily, so I don't know that you can see. I'm going to see if I can show you. See how there's that sort of nubbly texture to it? That all shifts up and down really easily. So when you're warping and pulling things through with the hook, it can all sort of bunch up. There's a little bit up here where it's bunched up, and there's a bit further up the warp where the cotton and acrylic has just fallen off the nylon entirely. We're just going to persevere. The other thing is it's a little bit stickier than I was expecting it to be, so you might be able to see that there's a few sort of lumps and bumps. Normally that would be because my tension isn't very good, because I haven't been great at tension lately. In this case it's because it's just sticky. And I'm just going to leave those lumps and bumps. We're just going to run with it. We'll have waves in it. It's all fine. So I don't know that this is the best yarn to use as warp, but I've done it now. So, you know, we're going to carry on. There was something else I was going to say about it too. Oh yeah, joins. I had so many joins in this. I did maths for this one, which I don't normally do, but I did some maths to figure out how wide I could make it. But it is slightly narrower than I was intending, because I did have to cut around several joins, and there are some joins that are actually still in the warp, but I think they're going to be okay. You're not supposed to do it, but you know, if we're going to make a mistake, let's make a big one, yeah? So yeah, a lot of joins in this, which I don't normally get in BWM yarn, and one of those joins was I'd warped up the first 3 slots, or I'd pulled through the first 3 slots, and then there was a join that completely changed the colour progression, which I find really annoying. The other joins didn't do that. So there are some joins in the warp. I think they're going to be okay. I don't know how much fun I'm going to have weaving this. I love the colours, so the colours are what's keeping me going. I love that yellow against the pink. I love all of that. But the yarn itself, I don't know. But I did use this yarn for the blue fluffy one the other week, whenever that was. It was in the past. And it was fine. It was great. So maybe it's just this particular ball of yarn that wasn't, you know, wasn't destined to be woven, but it is going to be woven because the destiny is in my hands. The yarn doesn't get to choose. That's a little bit too dramatic. I may have had too much coffee today. Anyway, that's what's on the big loom. We'll see how we get on. And the little loom has an actual stash busting project on it. Do you remember at the start of the year I said I was on a stash bust this year? And then I showed you my new yarn, and I've done that maybe 8 or 10 times this year already. This is genuine stash busting. This is depths of the stash stuff. So this warp, which looks like that, is in shades of white and grey. I think it's not actually shades. I think it is just white and grey, which are both shades, so I'm correct. It's a multi-stranded yarn. It is a wool, alpaca and acrylic blend. It's discontinued. It's from Ice Yarns, and I do remember I wove quite a big wrap out of it maybe 5 or 6 years ago. And I went to look up the yarn then, and it had already been taken off the website, which is good because I can't remember what it's called. So it's an Ice Yarns discontinued multi-strand wool, alpaca and acrylic blend. That's as much information as I can give you. As for this one, I also don't have any information on it. This is from my aunt's stash, I think. I'm pretty sure. There are quite a few chunky yarns in that stash, and I think this is one of them. Or I may have picked it up somewhere else. Anyway, it doesn't have a label. Or it didn't. It might have had when it was new. And I have done a burn test, and it is pure wool. Burn test is exactly what it sounds like. You take a little bit of the yarn, you set fire to it, and figure out what it's made of. Wool smells like burning hair. And this is pure wool. There's no cotton or anything in it. It's very loosely, it's barely spun, but it's quite a nice chunky yarn. So that is 2 shades of grey with a bit of white for a nice big chunky scarf, which is going to be a nice break from the fiddly one, which is on the big loom, which I will finish, but it is fiddly. Now, last but not least, if you've been around the channel for a long time, I'm going to put my loom down, hang on. If you've been around the channel for a very long time, very, very long time, you may remember, in the dim dark recesses of the past, a scrap crochet star blanket. Because I'm just gonna sort myself out down here, but can you see the top of my head? Oh, that's always a good look. Okay, let me just get myself organised somewhat. Organised is such a strong word, don't you think? There we go. So I was in a bit of a crochet mood. Hello, I'm down here. I was in a bit of a crochet mood the other night. So I dug it out, and I've been working on that. So that is This has been years, because I normally work on this for about 6 hours a year at the local CFA market when I do the market stall down there. I only do one market stall a year at the moment. I'm very exclusive, and also I tend to work weekends. And I was in a bit of a crochet mood, but I didn't want to make a scarf because I've got scarves. I didn't want to make a cardigan because that takes forever. So I thought, well, let's find the scrap blanket. So this is Magic Ball, and I've got the Magic Ball here. It's actually the Magic Ball that I wove the poncho out of the other week. I've swapped the Magic Ball. I did have another one because I had another one attached to this. But this one is so full of yarns that I don't remember. I thought it might be more fun. Although the outside is yarns that I have recently added. So yeah, that's back in progress. I'm holding that up beautifully. I don't have the pattern for this. I love a star blanket, and once you get into the repeats, it's quite easy to just remember what to do. So the pattern I did have bookmarked, and then my hard drive didn't want to be a hard drive anymore. So I've lost it. But any star blanket will work, any star blanket pattern. There's loads of free patterns for star baby blankets. But the thing about it is you don't have to stop if you don't want to. So this is just going to be as big as it is, and when I run out of, as big as it is when I run out of yarn. I'm going to use all my English today. And then if that's not big enough, I can just wait until I've built up more Magic Ball and add some more to the outside. But I really love this thing. It's so much chaos, and I can remember these yarns, and I remember weaving with them. I bought that one in the United States. Oh, that one was awful. That one was awful to weave with. I think that predates the channel, actually. So yes, enjoying myself with that, snuggling up with ER at the end of the day and watching some medical drama and doing some crochet in the cold because it's a bit wintry at the minute. That is all I have. I think that's all I have for you. That is all I have for you this week. Thank you so much for watching. You take care of yourself. Have a lovely rest of your week, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.